What improved your quality of life so much, you wish you did it sooner? A good mattress, followed by a good pillow. We went down the rabbit hole of mattress reviews on YouTube. Seriously, you can get lost out there for more hours than you think. But settling on our new one, we made the right choice. A good pillow was soon to follow, as once the rest of your body is comfortable, you know fast if your pillow is right. The combo of the two, if great though. Actually listening instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you understand so much more. And people have so many nice things to say about you when you just listen. I kind of do the opposite, where I listen pretty thoroughly and then forget that I need to respond. Switch to a job where I have a consistent, balanced schedule, has let me exercise again, socialize more and spend time on other hobbies. This is the one for me too. Suddenly I have time to exercise most days, cook better meals, relax at home, participate in my hobbies, and have my little side gig that doesn't drain me like it used to because I had to spend my super limited free time doing it. I can maintain a reasonable budget that allows me to pay my bills, save, and have a little extra. Going from $30K a year with a varied schedule to $40K a year with a consistent schedule has been life-changing, and I know that income still isn't anything amazing, but it's at least a step. Getting glasses. I put it off for way too long and only got around to seeing an optometrist when I failed the vision test at the DMV as I was trying to get my driver's license renewed a while back. I really didn't appreciate how much my vision had deteriorated or how much I was straining to focus on things until I got them. It was like going from an old CRT TV from the 90s directly to a top-of-the-line UHD display. I must have spent about an hour just walking around outside and staring at shit on that first day. Renewed my driver's license a few weeks back and had a come-to-Jesus moment when I realized I might not pass the vision test. I stopped caring about my job. I still go every day and I'm good at it, but I don't care anymore. Other things interest me now. 13 years of obsessing over work, what a waste. I learned this at 31 thanks to a great manager and mentor. It's really a paradigm shift when you have someone to teach you that it's okay to not operate in a 11-10 and that 6-10 is better than most and to go home and enjoy your life. Cooking for myself, rather than relying on microwave meals, eating better, healthier and cheaper at the same time. If anyone is struggling to get started, I recommend a few things. Get a decently sharp chef's knife. A simple Victorinox Fibrix and a knife destroyer link is plenty. You don't need a $300 Nason borer knife and a set of sharpening stones, though those are nice too. Write down the foods you like to eat, and slowly match every dish with a recipe. This makes your grocery shopping trips much easier, because you always find something to prepare. Find a few good sources of recipes. I swear by Serious Eats, but BBC Good Foods has a lot of excellent everyday recipes. Do your mise en place before you start cooking. Take food out. Measure things. It makes cooking a lot less stressful. Over time, you build a collection of simple recipes and non-perishable ingredients, spices, sugar, flour, that make cooking a breeze. You just need to grab 2-3 things from the supermarket to cook some really good food. Cooking techniques come with practice. It mostly boils down to temperature control and knowing the impact of each ingredient. For now, just follow the damn recipe and you'll be okay. Everybody here writes something amazing, but the first thing I thought of was my dishwasher. Honestly, this is so true. I joke that last year I bought my wife a dishwasher, and the house that goes around it. We needed a new home anyway. But having the dishwasher has done so much for my ability to keep up with the dishes. After hand washing dishes for the better part of 2 decades, I started thinking of the dishwasher as a way to hide the problem. Because I forgot all the dishes are sitting in there, I don't do it as much as I should. But now that it takes like 10 minutes to empty the last load and put in a new one in, I am more likely to do it daily. It's better than letting dishes sit in the sink and just washing dishes as I need them like I used to. Reading. Luckily I did start reading early on, mostly in my early 20s. I'm 27 now. I've read so many books which have given me much more insight to the world and my own views, especially my place in the universe. I mostly read biology books, but enjoy any realm of evidence-based science and some fiction here and there. Even the entire Bible 2 years ago. If anyone reads this, read. It's wonderful to know our minds can see lines and dots on paper and be able to decipher it. Just that concept alone makes me want to read. Also would like to add, for anyone who's wishing they read more than they do, don't get hung up on feeling like you should be reading classics or highbrow literature or whatever if that's not what you're into. Just read whatever interests you. Feel free to give up on that doorstop that you couldn't get past the 3rd chapter of and move on to something you can't put down. Finally getting a migraine preventative. I still get migraines but not over half a month of being in pain. 3 times a month is better than 20 days. I am on preventive but still getting them 10 days or more a month. I got medical cannabis last week and hoping had helps with the pain-induced anxiety. Sometimes the pain is so intense that I panic because I am so desperate to escape it, hoping to at least be able to melt into the couch. Rather my kids see me that way, than having the intense pain shakes and the vomiting and the tears. I broke my neck 5 years ago, which did not help the migraines. For anybody reading who gets migraines, and isn't already doing so, get on a magnesium supplement. Talk to your doctor if you have worries or concerns for adding a MG supplement. It changed how I experience migraines almost entirely. Fewer of them, far less severe. Personally, I make magnesium bicarbonate by mixing milk of magnesia with carbonated water. I mix mine with a multivitamin packet and take it daily. In no way am I suggesting this can take the place of pharmaceutical therapeutics, but most doctors these days are putting patients on a chelated magnesium pill, and the bioavailability of the bicarbonate over pill format is why I make my own with carbonated water and milk of magnesia. Look into it if you've got migraines. Easy and best solution I've ever found. Life-changing. Edit. It was pointed out that magnesium supplements can have adverse effect in people for various reasons, and you should consult a doctor if you have severe migraines and ask them about adding magnesium supplements. I'm not a doctor and you shouldn't treat my advice like I am. This will sound a bit dark, but it's ultimately not confronting my abusive parent. I am 50 and I finally did it a few months ago. I no longer have a relationship with that parent, and doing it was very hard, very scary, and very rough. But as soon as I did it, I felt like an immense weight had been lifted from me. I had spent most of my adult life pretending to have a normal relationship with someone who physically and emotionally abused me throughout my childhood. It took years of therapy for me to even grasp how deeply that affected me or how much it cost me to keep it up. I just feel so free. I wish I had done this the second I was out the door of their house, but this will do. Hydrocortisone. I had an undiagnosed autoimmune disease where my adrenal glands don't make cortisol. And basically I was unable to catch my breath for months and my blood pressure was 0 and I'd get lightheaded from just standing. Took myself to the hospital where they shit me up with hydrocortisone and I immediately felt normal. Saving up money. Once I had 6 months expenses saved, the pressure goes down so much. I can make good decisions instead of desperate ones. I don't get stressed about losing my job. I can schedule my bills every month without worrying about balances. A car repair bill doesn't faze me anymore like a wrench in the monthly cash flow. Life's just easier with money behind. Yeah, I totally agree. Didn't realize how much stress it caused until I had that cash saved. I call it middle-class docu money. It means I can stand up for myself at work a bit because I'm not terrified of not being able to pay bills for a few months, but not enough to quit working. Trying to get 8 hours of good sleep every night. I would really love to get 8 or even 9 hours sleep, but I can't bring myself to go to sleep earlier because that means I have less me time in the evening and then I feel like I just work, eat, sleep and repeat. Buying a lot of underwear and socks. Also, quitting drugs. Edit. To the people in the comments who are using drugs or wanna quit but can't. As someone who struggled with heroin addiction for a long time and finally quit and got my shit together, I highly recommend doing whatever it takes to get off whatever shit you're using, man. I know it's very hard during the first few months, but if you get yourself through that phase, you can see your life drastically improve in front of your eyes, and I assure you that's the best feeling ever. Highly recommend quitting 10-10. And yeah, buy a shit ton of socks and underwears. Really comes in handy. Finally getting help in treatment for ADHD. It feels amazing to be able to get through the day without constantly struggling to keep my shit together. Update. Wow, I didn't expect so many comments and questions. I'll do my best to respond to everything I saw in the comments. First off, I am in the US where healthcare is pretty awful in general, especially mental health care, and I did not get diagnosed until I was in my early 20s, although I struggled my whole life. ADHD also presents differently depending on gender, age and severity of symptoms, etc. So please don't take my experience as a universal one and consult with a healthcare provider to find the right course of treatment for you. I first got diagnosed by a general practitioner and took a non-stimulant medication that did not work for me at all. I then was prescribed Adderall and took that with no issues minus some annoying but manageable side effects such as low appetite and sleep trouble, all of which diminished over time for 2 years before I lost insurance and could not afford to go to the doctor. I tried natural remedies and lifestyle changes for a couple years and some worked pretty well. Then I finally went back to a psychiatrist and got on Adderall again. I use that in combination with therapy and lifestyle changes such as utilizing a manageable daily routine, planners, alarms, and other organizational tools. I also try being the key word here to eat healthy and get plenty of sleep, which helps a lot as well. Also stay hydrated. With stimulants it can be very easy to become dehydrated. I take a low dose of the medication and try to skip taking it on days when I don't have a lot of work to get done so that my body has a break from it from time to time. I try not to increase the dose unless absolutely necessary, and I have all my vitals monitored regularly to ensure my blood pressure and heart are healthy. It can be hard to find a good doctor and to get the right meds, so if something doesn't feel like it's working for you, try other options until you find something that does. Everyone will react differently to different treatments. You can also have co-occurring disorders, so it is important to get the right diagnoses. Best of luck everyone. Weightlifting. I wish I had started weightlifting so much earlier. I look better, feel better, and it's done wonders for my mental health. Any tips for someone who wants to start but feels completely lost in a gym? I have a little gym at my apartment, just some basics equipment and dumbbells, and really want to start weightlifting and losing weight. Edit. I did not expect to wake up to so many replies. Thank you everyone for your advice. It is greatly appreciated. Cutting off a toxic friend. After having cut off said friend, I felt that I could finally breathe without the stress of setting them off or getting into fights with them. I don't regret my decision at all. I spent Christmas with a friend. She was telling me a story while I was making cookies, and suddenly I felt this warm glow as I realized that I had absolutely no anxiety that her visit would turn into some weird, angry rant. I just noticed how peaceful it felt to know that everything was going to be okay. We'd have a lovely visit and say goodnight and see each other again next week, and the loveliness would go on forever. That's how it feels to replace a toxic friend with a real friend. LASIK. My life is 10 times better without glasses. The surgery itself scared the shit out of me, but I am so glad I did it. Same. When the surgeon was messing with the flaps I nearly died. I didn't look up any videos of the process cause I probably would have chickened out. Getting sober from alcohol. I was drinking so much my body hurt 24/7. I never get tired of not feeling like garbage. Edit. Thank you for the kind words everyone. Our Stop Drinking is a fantastic resource and community for anyone interested in stopping or cutting back on alcohol. There's lots of programs as well. I have had success with Sober Faction, which is searchable on Facebook, but it's likely not for everyone. SMART is another non-theistic program. No matter what your goal, there is support out there for you. Ian White. Heal thyself. Hail thyself. My body always hurts from drinking. Honestly, the only reason I drink now is because it numbs how much my body hurts. I don't crave it at all. It is a vicious cycle and I need to stop. Deleting Facebook. Edit. Just a follow-up, as this is getting a lot of responses and I appreciate everyone telling their sides. It was never an addiction for me. I didn't engage or do much on it. But logging in daily for news and seeing all the toxicity of people comments during a pandemic and election year, I had enough. I stay on Reddit because I feel I can control what I see here better, and I don't personally know the people commenting. Realizing some of the things people would say, people I knew, made me sad and very angry. I found it better to just take that out of my life. I am much happier now and in turn a better person to be around. Anyone I actually want to stay in contact with I still do with phone calls and text. In conclusion, do what makes you happy. Surround yourself with caring, loving people. Have healthy debates on topics and delete your clutter. It's not needed and you'll be a happier, healthier person. Deleting Instagram for me. I'd say if you're using your phone more than a couple of hours a day, see if you can delete any of the stuff you're spending that time on. Absolutely game-changing. Always assuming people are doing things for a good reason. It sounds stupid but it helps. Someone cut you off in traffic. That's fine. They might be rushing to a hospital. Someone rushing around the store in a fit. They might be trying to rush to get supplies for their sick kids. Any day might be someone's best day or very worst day, so framing it this way avoid road rage and generally being an upset person. Edit. Thanks for the awards and glad this resonated. Someone cut you off in traffic. That's fine. They might be rushing to a hospital. I tell myself maybe they have to poop. Cutting out toxic family, followed by friends and acquaintances. Life is too short to let people drain you. I am always polite, but that doesn't mean you own my time or attention with your negativity. It's amazing how much happier I am decades later. Playing stupid. I was raised to think that I had to have all the answers, all the time. When I started working, my reviews frequently mentioned time management as an area I needed to improve in because I was so busy giving other people the answers they needed sometimes to simple questions that I neglected my own work. A senior co-worker told me one day, It's not your job to have all the answers. You only need to have the answers you need to get your work done. It's okay to play stupid. Don't do their work for them. I stopped giving family money. I was always broke. For the life of me I couldn't figure out why. Until I sat down and broke down my spending. I was giving $300-500 a month to family. Once I stopped I was able to pay my bills easily and never overdrafted. I just recently had to pull my foot down with Sil, who we bought a $17,000 car for. She says she could make the payments. Turns out she can't. Now my credit's ducked and I can't buy the house I was getting ready for. I have since had the car repossessed. But guess what? I am the bad guy. This is my fault somehow, and I am a boss for taking care of my family in spite of her. Working 4 days per week, a 32-hour work week. Seriously, we should all be doing it. Quality of life is 1000x better. Having my own place. Ada, thank you for my first award. I'll toast to it in my place with some wine while I paint. Have great night. Reddit. Ada 2 whoa. Almost 2k upvotes. My first few months here. Thank you all so much. Ada 3 adding that exercise when you're recovering from a breakdown helps as well.